Los Alamos lab bought a special access program that had had an Israeli backdoor in it, so now they had access to the information at this lab. And whatever, I guess in this whole world where, information is blackmail, is power, are you really, we're starting to see now how, if indeed it was one power structure versus another power structure, and you start to see then how, the various public figures move in concert, that there's an agenda that, has been followed along for however long they've been employed in working out the scheme that's now changing. That there's a new changing of the guard. And it's either an accident or it's on purpose or it's somebody's on purpose. But how do we react to it? I don't know. We keep studying. And we keep learning every day and just keep improving your mind and a critical ability to think logically and not just fly off the handle and have some emotion-ridden, emo tirade. If you want, here's a life hack for you. You guys realize that every app on your phone you use lives at the App Store, either your Android App Store or at the Google, with the other one, at Apple. Here's your option. When I don't have a single app on my phone until I need it. And then I go get it, and I log in, I do what I want to do with it, and I delete it. And that's it. And you really comes down to the fact that when it comes to you really having a need to be online and a need to use social media, is there a true need that would be worthy of going and downloading the app and going and getting a password, if you remember it or not, or getting a new one, or whatever second or sixth step identification and verification you need to log into whatever. What a freeing feeling to just listen. Well, listen in silence when you're meditating, you're praying, or you're expectantly waiting. In the fullness of your hope. You're a hopeful person because you're joyfully here and excited and humbly aware that your existence is a gift. Okay, well, that seems easy enough. So anyways, you just be that. Live here from the middle of your heart center, and that is how you view humanity. That is how you view memory. That is how you view others. That is how you view the words that you use as used to describe reality. In an inclusive way that includes all of us in the grand hour, and not, unfortunately, the targeted hateful attacks of people who will do anything to enforce their political will upon you. So, hey, what are you going to do? The reason I brought up the backdoor program there at Los Alamos is because the guy who sold it to Los Alamos is his last name's Maxwell, which we would tie to that Ghislaine Maxwell, which we tie to Epstein, who has the ranch next to the... You're like, what? This is amazing. And so that's it. So as I'm able to watch the news curated through my through my Telegram feed and using my social media and apps as I need to log in and post and then just delete from the phone. And guess what? Enjoy the silence of sitting alone and just think about the depths that your heart can travel as you go, as the Holy Spirit gives you memories to go in and experience those memories in the fullness of hope and the fullness of joy. And if there's anything tying you back to a time that is not now, I know you can do the work to then make sure that, your life is all sail and no anchor. How about that? Because your anchor is already in the Lord, swung on in a drive. Anyways, so that was it. So it's the tie-in to Los Alamos. I mean, that whole web is just phenomenal. It's as far as the twists and turns of the narrative of what's happening in politics. Because now you're looking at this from like an international perspective. Because you have to look at all of the information as we get it through, how do the pundits look at it? How do the politicians look at it? How do the finances react? What are the investors doing? How is Hollywood creating in advance of a narrative that's changing? What is it like for them to not know the narrative that's changing? and then to have to create in advance of what they think. That's what is so amazing. And this game theory is Trump controls the very news stream itself, that he's able to say, oh, I do this, they'll respond this, or this, and if they do this, we'll go over here, then they end up over here, which means that they've been hypocritical for this. Get all the videos ready, boom, and there's the mechanism. Within however many days, they look bad for how they responded in the same way they've looked bad as responding, and they don't care, and they're going to continue to double down. Because if this ever flips, then it will be the grand party that will preclude what will more than likely be the gnarliest civil war in the history of gnarly civil wars. So what are you doing as far as having an excellent day today? Have you gotten right with the Lord? Have you made a vow? Have you made a vow of allegiance? And which Lord are you serving? The dark Lord that is taking over the objects? Or are you really putting the faith-centered lenses on reality, and so that everything you look at is the gift that it is, and that every single person in front of you is a person for you to serve, holding a door open, listening, talking to from a stage, being in line, however it finds yourself. There you are. You are that beacon of hope in your fullness as you exist with the understanding and the wisdom that comes with the assured confidence. That is the definition of faith itself. Or Zechariah wrestled with God. And as the sun rose, then there you go. He went on, anointed, that means wrestles with God, which at the time meant Israel. Pretty amazing to go deep into the ancient words of Greek, to go and watch how information changes in our reality based on the economic pressures that information people have on each other. And however, maybe this is all a game, or maybe there's real change that's happening. How would that change your life at all? If it's something that's completely disaffected other than you and your current now, which is either involved in your success or is either involved in your not as much success as you could be having if you were fully invested heart first into your endeavors and not acting from a depressed, scarce place, which is easy to do because the society is selling you that. And for a long time, they sold the fact that there was no future and the jobs were going to suck. And well, the next thing you know, 25,000 soldiers had their student loans wiped out yesterday. And so, you're starting to hear the leaders hear that real people are hurting, whether if it's medical bills, whether if it's financial. They're going to create programs that are going to give people a process to work through in order to attain the benefit that they're seeking. And that's it. And where you have commitment and capacity, you will have also commitment and capacity in order to complete that very agreement, and you will be lifted up into whatever level of the stratus you're supposed to be in. How long have I been here? I'd say 8 minutes. We're great. Let's see. What else? Is that it? If I got any of those names wrong, sue me. Go listen to Father Al today. He's great. He talked about love as understanding, and you can only understand as you love. So beware of a narrative that leads with your hatred. Beware of a narrative where the signal of virtue is attached to an act of, lack of virtue in what seems to be an offensive, defensive, physical assault on ideology. And that's very, very interesting. And so that's it. That's it. Let's see. Anything else? No. God bless America. Go outside and look at a tree. Go outside and look at a flower just aimed at the sun, soaking it in. How much color does that flower have? All the color? Is that flower on a 10, on 11? And then go look at Buddha's face as he holds it. Does that make any bit of difference to you in your reality and how you are pleasantly here and humbly here and ready to serve God bless America, everybody.